Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the media, and welcome to the daily press briefing hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for Wednesday, 14 March 2012. I will now proceed to give you some information, and we're going to start with the Central Division where a firearm was recovered. And the facts are, during the period 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 13th March 2012, an exercise was conducted in the Couva District under the supervision of Superintendent Abraham and Inspector Burke, and included Police Constables Paul, Duncan, and other officers of the Central Division Tactical Unit. Acting on information received, the officers went to an area at the Southern Main Road, Claxton Bay, and found and seized one black silver Smith & Wesson .22 pistol. The firearm contained no magazine, no ammunition. No one was arrested. In the Port of Spain district, around 1:40 p.m. on Monday, 5th March 2012, a 27-year-old man employed as a driver at National Flour Mills left the compound of the company with a consignment of 104 sacks of different types of flour and a quantity of icing sugar for delivery at several business places in Shoguanas and Couva districts. Instead, the employee took the goods, totaling $25,000, and sold same to a businessman in San Juan and kept the cash for his own use. A report was made to the Port of Spain CID, and investigations were conducted by Corporal Ram Sumir and a party of officers who executed a search warrant at the home of a 42-year-old businessman at San Juan, where a quantity of goods totaling $16,000 were recovered. The man was formally charged for receiving stolen goods and the employee for larceny of the said goods. They both appeared before a magistrate court today. And in the Southern Division, around 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, 10th March 2012, Constable Gado and other officers of the Gasparilla Police Station responded to a report of domestic dispute, where it was reported that shots were fired at Mapapi Trace, Williamsville. Upon their arrival, at the said address, a 27-year-old man of the district was interviewed by officers. He took the officers to a bushy area behind his home and showed them where he hid a homemade shotgun and admitted to discharging the firearm. The man was arrested and taken to the Gasparilla Police Station, where he was formally charged for the offenses of possession of firearm, possession of ammunition, and discharging a firearm within 40 meters of the public road. He was taken to the San Fernando Magistrate Court on the 12th of March 2012, where he appeared before Magistrate Chanka, pleaded guilty, and he was fined $4,000, or in default, 9 months hard labor. And finally, a prisoner's escape from the Port of Spain prison was short-lived as a result of quick action by police officers. The facts are, around 9:45 a.m., Police Constables Roberts and WPC KB of the Port of Spain CID, whilst on mobile patrol on Pembroke Street, Port of Spain, responded to a wireless communication of a man jumping the wall of the Port of Spain prison, Frederick Street. The officers responded and saw a man running in the direction of Lord Harris Square. They gave chase and held the man a short distance away. The man, 18 years old, was a remand prisoner and is now in police custody. That is the end of this morning news brief at this segment, and we now go to the next segment where we invite you to ask any questions.
Good morning. The officer who was involved in the raid on Tew, the guard and process officer who was allegedly caught kicking the suspect, the person that they went after, is that person still on duty?
My information, yes.
And how far has the investigation reached with regard to that incident?
Well, statements are being compiled, and that is as far as we reach so far.
In the last 24 hours, we've had approximately 4 murders taking place, and 2 of those are suspected to be gang-related. Are the police bracing for any kind of retaliation action by rival gangs? What are the steps that they plan to put in place?
Well, most definitely, we always expect, or at least try to expect the unexpected, and most definitely all our resources will be channeled in those areas to ensure that we keep the situation under control as it relates to those pockets of violence. So rest assured that we are putting everything behind it to have most of these murders solved.
Finally, now with regard to this Port of Spain prisoner who escaped, did they figure out how he was able to get over this wall? Did he have any help from the inside? Did they investigate how he was able to make his escape?
Well, because of the time frame, it was 9:45, and that was probably about an hour and a half ago. Most definitely an investigation will be launched as to how that whole incident took place. So we are yet to, will be awaiting the investigation to that matter.
Morning.
Morning.
A minister had made mention yesterday that Molotov cocktails have been thrown at motorists travelling, I think it's towards the east along the highway, close to the Beetham Gardens. Some have been hitting some of the cars and they're having to swerve, etc. And then you had the recent killing of an alleged gang leader yesterday in the Beetham area. What is the police going to be doing to beef up security once and for all at that area? Because motorists are quite frightened to drive along that route and are fearing for their lives, basically.
Okay, well, for my information, I read a report, and that was relative to the incident that we had last week, or I think it was 2 weeks ago, where it had an incident where the IATF and other members of the Port of Spain, police officers attached to Port of Spain Division went in and they quelled the situation. We are, of course, paying special attention to that area, and our security it has been beefed up to ensure that road users could continue to use that particular highway in a safe manner.
Okay, you said the escape prisoner, that was around 9:45 this morning? Or
This
was
morning.
it yesterday?
This morning.
Which part of the prison wall he was jumping in? West, north, east, what?
I don't have that information now, but as I said, the information.
You're talking about the Royal
Yes,
Deal, right?
which is known as remand yard.
Yeah. That is approximately how many feet high? About 18 feet high?
Could be more.
All right, okay. Like she was saying, the same thing about this problem down in the Beetham. This has been ongoing for a good while now. I think every week I usually mention it about how there have been many robberies over there. I personally know someone who, actually I know 2 people who were robbed down there. No, 3. Driving in a car, going down there, and they've been robbed within the past 2 or 3 months. I don't see any officers on patrol there. Only once in the afternoons you might see GB parked on the Beetham around 5 o'clock. And the rest of the times there aren't anybody patrolling down there at all.
Well, quite contrary, we have the members of the Highway Patrol branch with specific instructions to pay attention to that particular area. In addition to that, we have the Guardian Emergency Branch, the Interagency Task Force, which is a stone throws away from that particular area. And part of their mandate is to pay special attention to that highway and the surrounding areas. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take one more question from Mr. Johnson with 4 parts.
Sarge, you said that the police service is paying special attention to the Beetham Gardens. Could you clarify or explain what you mean by special attention?
Well, you remember during the state of emergency, certain areas were identified as hotspots. And that sense hasn't changed in relation to the areas being identified as a hotspot. That is a hotspot area, admittedly. So hence the reason special attention should and must be paid to that area.
You're saying special attention, but you're not giving us more. When you say special
Maximum
attention,
patrols, and that is one of the attention that we're giving.
that is police term. We don't as civilians understand what is maximum.
Increased patrols. Is that more?
From 5 to 10 cars, 20 more officers being placed there. The police post that is there is beefed up.
What I can tell is that the police presence has been heightened in that area. So we have more police officers, we have more police presence in that
And
area.
what about in the Sealats area where the retaliation is supposed to take place because the Sealats men is alleged to have killed Mr. Cassius?
Well, I indicated the Beetham Highway and environs, which will include
both
Sea Lots, Beetham Estate, Beetham Garden, sorry, and surrounding areas.
Any motive behind this killing? I know some would say it's gang-related, but the police service are continuously using the term pockets of violence. So we'll go with pockets of violence. Any motive behind this killing?
Well, investigations are ongoing, so we should have some information as we go along.
And one last question, really, the wall jumper. What was he in remand for?
What was,
The prisoner who escaped, what was he remanded for?
well, most definitely an offense.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
assume so.
Yeah.
But what offense was he remanded?
Yeah, he was remanded for sentencing because he appeared before San Fernando Magistrate Court yesterday.
Okay.
So he was there temporary to be conveyed.
And what was
to
the
the
offense that he allegedly committed? Well, he was found guilty of committing.
Larceny. Thank.
I'm a little confused because if you're saying that the police service has heightened security and heightened their duties in terms of monitoring the Beetham area, why are these criminal activities still cropping up and it's getting worse and worse? It's just a matter of time. I mean, I don't wish it upon any of us, but it could be one of us that's affected. And we can all shrug our shoulders and say, well, we don't know, but you've heightened your police presence, so what on earth could be the problem?
Well, what I can tell you is that, on occasions, criminals will generally look for the opportunities to commit offenses. And most definitely, criminals will not seize the opportunity when police officers is at point A or point B. So at times, you'll find that the criminals will normally seize a pocket of opportunity where they will be able to commit an offense and do it. But however, what I want to say is that the patrols have been heightened, security has been increased, and we want to assure the public that we're going to bring some kind of stability in that area.
Just a clarification. It was heightened following the death of Williams,
No?
prior to the death of Williams.
Remember that it's a hotspot area, so that the security is ongoing in that particular area.
Yes.
Final question from...
Yes, I'm sorry. You distracted me. This same wall jumper, he was caught by the two officers who were on patrol, right? He was charged with larceny yesterday and appeared before a San Fernando magistrate yesterday. Right. Is he in court this morning for escaping custody?
No.
Has he been charged as yet?
No. What will happen is that he will be returned to the Prisons Authority first. And then thereafter, the police will apply for a writ of habeas corpus, execute a warrant, so that he can be charged for the escape in lawful custody. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for another news brief. We look forward to see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a good day, and have a blessed day.